I seen Stephen was on. It looks like he may have lost his connection. I don't see him here. So from my screen, I'm looking for member
Recording in progress.
Townsend and member Robinson. Member Hergert and Hutchison, do you agree that? I can't. That's all I see on my screen. Those the three of us.
Yeah, I see the chambers there, so I'm not sure who's in there. I can't tell. See the picture of the chamber?
Yes, that I do.
Not sure who's in there, whether the mayor's there or not sure.
I do see member Townsend signing back in here now.
Hi there, Chair. We're going to just, we're not logging in. We'll just connect through the chamber. Good afternoon to all of you, and you'll see us now on screen in the chamber. Thank you.
Hey, so just a question for those that are in the chamber. Do you have the raise hand option is what you'll be doing for communication? 'Cause I can't see if you raise your hand virtually from the little screen here.
Yeah, the bird's eye view is a bit hard to pick up. See who's even there.
We're just determining that. Very good questions. I think what we're staff are attempting to do is to zoom in on myself and also the other member of the Committee of Adjustment, Member Townsend. So one moment, we'll see if that works.
Okay, thank you. Once we have that sorted, I will be calling the meeting to order.
Just by way of an update, both Member Townsend and myself will be logging in. So you'll see us on screen momentarily.
Okay, I see all 5 members here now, so that's good. And Mr. Hewlett, are you going to be able to let us know that we're ready to go, or who's taking care of that to kick the meeting off?
Through you, Chair Hutchinson, we're good to go now.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Okay, so good afternoon and welcome. I'm Deputy Mayor Tom Hutchison and Chair of the adjustment meeting. Item number 1, we're going to be calling the meeting to order. This is the August the 8th, 2022 Committee of Adjustment meeting. And we do have quorum as indicated by the committee member's login and sign in, as you can see virtually on screen. For this meeting, we're using both audio and video. And this meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the West Grey website at www.westgrey.com. The technology for this meeting is being managed by the West Grey staff. Please refrain from clicking buttons throughout the meeting unless prompted. And before we continue, I'm going to ask Ms. Ferguson to provide an overview on some of the other key points for this meeting. Ms. Ferguson, please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Hutchinson. Before I begin, if you get disconnected, you can dial in at 1-647-558-0588 and enter the meeting ID for this meeting, which is 871-5038-0700. It should be noted for members of the public that this meeting is being hosted on Zoom meeting software, but is also being live streamed on YouTube. Public participation and comments are not monitored on YouTube and must be done through the Zoom meeting software. Both members of staff and council have been briefed on the various features of the Zoom meeting software. Members of council and staff will be raising their hands physically on camera to speak. For members of the public, if you require any technical assistance throughout the duration of the meeting, please send a chat message to myself, Sheila Ferguson, Communications Coordinator, and I will attempt to assist you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mayor, or Member Robinson, sorry. Yeah, you're muted.
How's this now? Okay, and just to Councillor or Member Townsend, I just want to identify when other individuals in the chamber are speaking, if we just put our volume on mute, and then we won't get that echo. So just thought I would mention that. Thank you for everyone's time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so moving along, we're on item number 2, and that's to appoint a secretary-treasurer. And for the recommendation, I'm going to call on Madam CAO, Deputy Clerk Johnston, please to read the recommendation. Then I'll be looking for a mover and seconder. Madam CAO.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The recommendation is that the Committee of Adjustment hereby appoints Lisa Mulligan to the position of Secretary-Treasurer to the Committee of Adjustment.
Thank you, Madam CAO / Deputy Clerk. And I'm looking for a mover. I do see Member Robinson as the mover, and I see Member Hergert as the seconder. Comments or questions from the committee members on the recommendation? Seeing none, we'll call the vote. All those in favor, if you could raise your hand, please. I do see 5 members in favor. There is none opposed. That motion is carried. Thank you, and congratulations on your appointment. Item number 3 is the purpose of the meeting. And Ms. Mulligan, if you could please provide your comments, you're up right away. Thank you.
Thank you. The purpose of this Committee of Adjustment meeting is to allow the presentation of applications for minor variances and applications for consents to sever, and to allow interested members of the public the opportunity to ask questions or offer comments with regard to the applications. A public registry for each application is available by email at sferguson@westgrey.com. And if any member of the public would like to be notified in writing of the decision on one of the applications, they are to provide their name and mailing address by email or via the meeting chat function for the corresponding registry. This will also entitle one to be advised of a possible Ontario Land Tribunal hearing in the event the decision on the application is appealed.
Thank you, Ms. Mulligan. Item number 4 on today's agenda is disclosure of pecuniary interest, and general nature thereof. Members of the committee, do you have anything to declare at this time? And if you do not, and you do see one that arises during the meeting, you can announce it at that time. Seeing none, we're going to move on to item number 5, which is the approval of the minutes. And that will be for, go to 5.1, and that will be the minutes from the July 11th, 2022 Committee of Adjustment meeting. And for the recommendation, I'm going to get Ms. Mulligan to please read it. Go ahead, please.
Recommendation, Committee of Adjustments hereby approves the minutes of July 11th, 2022 as presented.
Thank you. Could I get a mover, please? I see Member Hutchinson moving that, and followed by Member Townsend as the seconder. Is there any comments or questions from the committee members on the recommendation? Seeing none, we'll call the vote. All those in favor, if you could raise your hand, please. I see 5 members in favor. If there's none opposed, that motion is carried. Okay, moving along, we're going to go to item number 6 on today's agenda. That's minor variance application number A11, 2022, 133 Marshall Heights, Township of Glen Elg. 6.1, application number A11, 2022, Welks, Chad, Welks, Becky. 6.2 is on the agenda, is next on the agenda, sorry. And that'll be Planner Spencer's report. If you could please read your report for minor variance A11, 2022. And if you can include any of the comments received under 6.3 from 6.3.1, Grey County, 6.3.2, Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority, 6.3.3, Enbridge Gas, and any other correspondence you may have received up to today that's not posted. Planner Spencer, please.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Chair. So the subject lands are municipally identified as 133 Marshall Heights, south of the town of Durham. The property is legally identified as Lot 34, Plan 16M29, in the geographic township of Glenelg. The purpose of this application is to vary the provisions of Section 6.1.42 to permit a total floor area of 126 square meters, whereas 92.9 square meters is permitted, the effect of which will permit the construction of an accessory structure. A single detached dwelling unit is also proposed for the subject lands, and permit applications have been provided for both structures. Application A08 2022 was previously presented to the committee on June 6th of 2022, which granted relief of the same provision 6142 to permit a total floor area of 118 square meters. Drawings provided by the applicant on June 28, 2022 noted a different floor area, which has resulted in the application before the committee. Comments were provided from the County of Grey, from the Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority, and Enbridge Gas, none of which have concerns with the application and find the application to be acceptable. No further comments have been provided by the public in response to the application at this time. Happy to provide further clarification.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. So that'll take us to 6.4, verbal comments. There's 2 parts to this. One will be the committee members, and that will be followed by 6.4.2, which will be members of the public. So under 6.4, 1 is committee members. The committee members, this is your opportunity to speak to the recommendation or the application, or if you have any comments or questions. I will be looking for members to put their hand up. And I do see Member Hutchinson. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I'm just curious that we seem to get a number of these applicants where people are wanting to build secondary structures, garages, larger than the 1,000 square feet. And I think we've had some discussion on this. Is this something that in our official plan going forward that will be looked at in terms of, you know, maybe we should up that size to 1,500 square feet or something, so you don't have people coming forward with numerous times just to change the size of the structure. So I'm just wondering if that's something that would save a little bit of work on the staff end of it. Maybe someone would like to comment on that.
Planner Spencer, please.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. This would be something reviewed as part of the zoning bylaw amendment review, not as part of the official plan. And it is a consideration because the number of applications has been identified by staff as being cumbersome. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So it's zoning. It just seems like this day and age, people seem to have a lot of toys, whether it be 4-wheelers, boats, other cars that the size of 1,000 square feet doesn't seem to fit the bill. So the other point I wanted to raise, and I think I've raised this before, but there's 2 aerial diagrams in there that are not correct. I just want to point that out. The first one, the first aerial, shows the building on the, I believe it's on the wrong side of the road. The first one, and I think it's the third one also. So on my agenda, it's page 22 and 2020, but it's the building, I believe, is on the south side of Marshall Heights Road, or rather than the north side. Am I correct on that?
Planner Spencer.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, you are correct. That was a carryover from the previous application that was incorrect. My apologies.
Right, okay, thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Member Hutchison. Any other comments or questions from the committee members before I turn it to the public? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to move on to 6.4.2, public comments. I'm going to ask Ms. Ferguson to provide an overview on how the public can participate. If they have any thoughts, or if you have anybody who would like to speak in favor or in opposition of this application. Ms. Ferguson, please.
Through you, Chair Hutchinson. It should be noted for this portion of the meeting that public participation must be done through the Zoom meeting software and cannot be done through the live stream on YouTube. For members of the public waiting to participate in this portion of the meeting, you may do so in one of two ways. The first being, if you have joined us via phone line, you can press *9 to raise your hand, and that will let us know that you would like to speak. After speaking, or if you raise your hand in error, you can press *9 again to lower your hand. If you have joined us using the Zoom meeting software, you can either send a chat message to me, Sheila Ferguson, Communications Coordinator, either stating that you would like to speak or that you would like your message read on your behalf for the record. Or you can raise your hand, usually located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen with a blue or yellow hand icon. And at this time, Chair Hutchinson, I'm not seeing any member of the public wishing to speak.
Okay, well, thank you, Ms. Ferguson. I'm going to have a quick look here before we move on. I see no hands raised or anything in the chat, so we're going to move on then to 6.5, and that's the decision by the committee. What direction would the committee like to take with this recommendation or application, I'm sorry? And I do see Member Hergert's hand up. Go ahead, Member Hergert.
Yeah, and I was supposed to be, I don't understand it, you know, what they were saying, because I don't have a computer. My computer is...
Excuse me? Right.
It's about...
Excuse me, could I just ask who's speaking, please?
When do I have to talk? I'm starting.
Okay, I'm just trying to identify who's trying to communicate with us. Is that the last three digits 242 on your phone? Okay, I believe we have a member of the public who'd like to speak, and I believe it is the last three digits of 242. Ms. Ferguson, could you maybe see if you could reach out to that member of the public?
Hello?
Hello, yes, we hear you. You'd like to speak to this application?
Me, but I like to speak to the application. I'm the owner of 396 Garafraxa Street North, and it's about the file number.
Okay, excuse me, sir. First off, we're not quite there. Are you talking in reference to item number 7 on the agenda today, which would be 410 Garafraxa?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Okay, well, we are not there yet. We are on the application prior to that. So I will mark down that we will reach out to you when we get to the public comments on that application again, which is item number 7. We are working on completing item number 6 on our agenda. So if you could just stand by, we will make sure that one of the staff or myself will reach out to you. And when we do that, we'll be asking you just to let us know who's speaking, and you'll have your opportunity to speak to it. So one moment, please.
How do I know you talk to me? You will address me. I'm supposed to be *6.
Okay. So again, I am working on item number 6. When we get to the next application, we'll reach out to you and we'll make sure you have your chance to speak. But right now, I have another item that has been called, and we need to finish this one. Okay, please stand by.
I keep you on.
Just stay on mute, sir. We will get back to you momentarily when we get to that item.
Okay.
Okay, so stand by. We will make sure that we'll give you ample time to speak to it. So I do need to complete this item that's before me. I do have that moved, I believe, by Member Hergert, and I was looking for a seconder, please. And Member Hutchison, you will be seconding that. And if I get Ms. Mulligan to please read the recommendation.
Through you, Chair Hutchison. Recommendation that Committee of Adjustment receives a report from Planner Spencer, A11, 2022, Welts, Chad, and Welts, Becky, and that Committee of Adjustment hereby approves or denies minor variance application A11, 2022 for the reasons set out in the planner's report.
Thank you. Comments or questions on the motion from the committee members? Yes, sorry, Member Herger.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just to clarify that, I would move that the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves the minor variance application A11 2022 for the reasons set out in the planner's report. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee members, we're all clear on that? Okay. So I have it moved by Member Herger, seconded by Member Hutchinson. Is there any other comments or questions on the motion? Seeing none, we'll call the vote. All those in favor, if you could raise your hand, please. And I do see 5 members are in favor. There's none opposed. This motion is carried. And I'm going to go to Planner Spencer under 6.6 for the next steps, please.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. The applicant will be notified of the decision as well as all people within 120 meters of the subject lands, and there'll be a 20-day appeal period that will follow. Provided no appeals are received on the application approval, the applicant will be advised they can proceed with their building permit.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. Okay, we're going to move on to item number 7 on today's agenda, and this is minor variance application number A12-2022. 410 Garifraxa Street North, Town of Durham. 7.1 is application number A12-2022, 579575, Ontario Limited, Can Do. 7.2 is Planner Spencer's report. If you could please read your report for minor variance A12-2022, I apologize, and include any written comments received under 7.3, which will be 7.3.1 Grey County, 7.3.2 Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority, 7.3.3 Hydro 1, and any other correspondence you may have received up till today. Planner Spencer.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. The subject lands are municipally identified as 410 Garifraxa Street North within the Town of Durham. The lands are legally identified as Part Lot 3, Concession 3, west of the Garifraxa Road. Hunter Street South are Plan 508. The purpose of this application is to vary the provisions of Section 13.2.1.5 of the municipality's comprehensive zoning bylaw to permit the construction of a single detached dwelling unit with an accessory apartment, the effect of which will permit a reduced exterior side yard setback of 4.6 meters, whereas 7.6 meters is required. For clarification purposes, the exterior side yard is considered the lot line adjacent to Durham Road West. Comments were provided from the County of Grey, in addition to the Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority and Hydro One, all of which are in support of the application and have no concerns. Additional comments have not been received from the public at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. And that takes us to 7.4 verbal comments. 7.4.1 is, and I just want to make this announcement. So there's 2 parts to this. Any members of the public that would like to speak, you will be have an opportunity to speak after we go to the committee members' comments, questions under 7.4.1. So 7.4.2, we will call on the members of the public to speak to the item. So 7.4.1, committee members, any comments or questions on this application?
Yes, I have some questions about
Excuse me,
it.
sir. I will call on you. This is where I said I would get to you under 7.4.2. So please wait. We are working on 7.4.1 now. This is the committee members' opportunity to speak, and then I will be calling on you after this portion is completed.
Okay.
Member Hutchinson, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I think there's some looking forward to the improvements of this corner, and hopefully the new building that will go in there will improve the sight lines. Now that we're under construction for Durham Road West, there's going to be quite a few changes there, and hopefully will alleviate some of the issues that we've had in the past. So yeah, so look forward to the changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Hutchinson. I assume that was just a statement. There was no question in there that I could find. Thank you for the thumbs up. Any other comments or questions from the committee members before we turn it over to the public? Okay, so now we're at the 7.4.2, and this is the opportunity for the community or citizens in the community to speak to it, opposed or in favor of it. And before we do that, I'm going to ask Ms. Ferguson to please provide an overview on how members of the public can participate in the meeting. Ms. Ferguson.
Through you, Chair Hutchinson, for members of the public waiting to participate in this portion of the meeting, you may do so in one of two ways. The first being you joined us via phone line, you can press *9 to raise your hand, and that will let us know that you would like to speak. After speaking, or if you raise your hand in error, you can press *9 again to lower your hand. If you have joined us using the Zoom meeting software, you can either send a chat message to myself, Sheila Ferguson, Communications Coordinator, either stating that you would like to speak or that you would like your message read on your behalf for the record. Or you can raise your hand, usually located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen with a blue or yellow hand icon. And at this time, Chair Hutchinson, there is a member of the public wishing to speak over the phone.
Okay, thank you, and I do acknowledge Mr. Trumbull's hand up as well, but I am going to call on the member of the public with the last 3 digits of 242 that is, I believe, is on a cell phone. And if you could please unmute yourself and just state your name for the record.
Yeah, I'm on there now.
Yes, you need to state your name for the record, please.
Hey, my name is Siegfried Bloser, and I'm the owner of 396 Garafraxa Street North.
Okay, I just want to make sure for the record that we had the copied the name there correctly. Just want to check in the staff. Did you hear that okay?
Yeah, like...
just one moment, sir. One moment, sir. Just checking with staff to make sure they got your name.
My name
we
is...
have her name.
You have my name?
Yes, we do.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Make your comments or your questions. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, I've seen a lot of changes around there, and I've seen the surveys, what's according to my property, and yours, all the renovation has been made according to the survey what you have in 1975 the year, you know, and I have a latest survey, you know, what has been made in 2013 in November, and it doesn't agree with the survey stake where you have it on the corner. Also, you tore down the building, you know, opposite me. You took some of so that's a discrepancy about, I would say, 18 inches, and somebody took the stake out of it and put there's another stake there as well. And also, you know, the opposite me, you know, what they used to call, I don't know, the Durham Road West, you know, I have several addresses for that one, the one with Hydro, one with Bell Telephone. Now, you tore the bank building down there, you know. I didn't even know the building was for sale or what happened there. Everything went so fast, and I had no communications whatsoever with them. Now, what I like to know, you know, what are you doing on that corner there, you know, where you put the building in, you know, like there's a big hole there right now. Also, you dug one of where you put the water line in. That's, you know, discrepancy. There was a patio there, and you put a big hole in there as well, and I had 2 services going in there, and now I don't know what's going on there, so I like to have a special meeting with that one. But anyway, you tore the old bank building down there, and that's a big hole. Where are you going to propose that single detached dwelling then?
Okay, I'm going to go to Planner Spencer for a response, so just stand by for a minute, sir.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. So the application at hand is dealing with the exterior side yard setback. We have not had an official date from the applicant when they wish to commence construction for the new single detached dwelling unit with the accessory apartment, but I do see that he is on the call. So if at some point here clarification would like to be provided, or we can arrange for the two of them to discuss it separately, that would be my recommendation at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Planner
I
Spencer.
would.
One moment, sir. I'll call on you here momentarily. I'm just thanking Planner Spencer for her response. Do you have another question, sir? Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah, like I like to have a meeting there, you know, because I have get so many different comments. I've been at the town office several times, and I talked to Brent, and I talked to some other people who are in the construction area there, and everybody has some different ideas and different comments there. So I like to know what's going on, because the idea was they tore the bank down. I didn't even know that place was for sale. They took 2 parking spots away where the takeout is for the Country Skillet restaurant there. They claim they can't make the curve. It's too dangerous for big trucks to make a corner there. And I don't know. And now they're going to put another building there. And you're obstructing the view again, you know, also of the nice building what I have there. I spent quite a bit of money on there to keep it nice and updated it all the time there, you know, and somehow, you know, with the pandemic there, I couldn't do anything with the restaurant business and all that, you know, so I just waited. And then when I started to have one person there who was interested in it, then they said, oh, you know, he's not interested because he tore off the road all the way up there and it's not going to be finished until October. So I don't know. So I like to get a little bit more details. One of the things that was there, you know, that I don't want to be the building there to obstructing my building when you go south on Highway 6, you know, because that was one of the ideas where they were saying, you know, they couldn't overview the corner very well. And if I would have known that it was up for sale, I could have made a deal there or something like that, but it never was advertised for sale or anything like that. And I don't want them to put a building there, you know, what will obstruct the view there for my building and, you know, the Durham Road side, what is the county road. I never been confirmed properly with the whole idea on that one there. So somehow I like to talk to somebody there who is in charge of the whole thing there, you know, and I get some information. I know I talked to Ivan once, and I talked to the guy who is doing all the development up north there, you know, I don't know, or the son, you know, not the owner there, and everybody has different ideas. Somebody put the water line in there, you know, so I was asking for 1 inch and a quarter, and they says, no, we don't need it. It's 1 inch. I had 2 3/4 inch coming into the house. They put a 1 inch line there, you know, and I don't know, you know, what they're doing. And also they damaged the side of it where there's a window well there, you know, they dug a hole there and water accumulates, they damaged that one there. But they said they will make everything nice and smooth afterwards. But I've been, you know, some people, they always give me different ideas there, different stuff there. And I like to talk to somebody there who is, I mean, you have capable people there, and they were very nice to talk to them at the town and all that, you know. But, and I have a survey, you know, I don't agree with the survey, because I have a survey here what was made by, just a second there, it is Town of Durham, let me see, it was made by Alex R. Wilson in 2013. What doesn't agree with the whole thing there, you know, the lines and all that stuff. I asked the guy, can it be resurveyed? He just hung up on me, and there's a conflict there, you know, because he knows the people, and with the whole construction, I didn't get no information whatsoever. Not because it is the county road, and Durham Road is Highway 6, and then the continuation on the other side is they were telling me What's above ground, it belongs to the county. What's below ground, it belongs to Durham, so I don't know. I'm a little bit confused there, Usually, when they plan a project like that, I should have been notified at least a year ago, because with the surveys, what I saw there, and the construction, this is not a thing what you just go up in 4 weeks, so I never had anything information from before from anybody there, except a week before they start construction, I got the notification, and then they already ripped up the road and all that stuff there,
Yes, sir. So may I ask, do you have a pen with you? Because when I call on the planner, Spencer, for a response, I'm going to see if you can jot down one of the staff members that may be able to help you with some of your questions. And like Planner Spencer has suggested, if there's a possibility of having a meeting of some sort with Mr. Trumbull, that I will leave that up to staff. I'm not going to give any kind of direction there. But do you have a pen with you, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Planner Spencer, please, if you could respond to any of the comments made there, and if you could suggest who the gentleman could reach out to in the staff. Planner Spencer.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. I would recommend that contact is made with the Director of Public Works and Infrastructure, in addition to our roads superintendent, to discuss the servicing component and those concerns related to it. I can't speak to that, unfortunately, today, but certainly I can make arrangements for them to connect and have a meeting to discuss that. It would be really between the applicant and this gentleman if they want to have a conversation and discussion about the survey piece. It's the municipality's position that the survey is a civil matter between two property owners and not one that the municipality gets involved in. So that would be another avenue with which to resolve that or have some resolution to that concern. Beyond that, I'm not sure of the history with respect to the water lines, so that's also something that needs to be identified through Public Works. Thank you.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. Okay, do you have one moment, sir. Do you have any final comments or questions before I go to the next member of the community that would like to speak?
Yes, because, one of the major reasons is they took 2 parking spots away from me in front of the building on Durham Road. On Durham Road. And all of a sudden now you want to take away, you want to decrease it on the other side there. So it doesn't make sense to me, because so that's why I'm interested in it there, to find out what it's in more little details, what it's all about there, because you're expanding, you're giving the guy, an extra 3 meters on the north side of it where the bank building was, and you took something away from our side there, so somehow now you have a big hole there, and I don't know why this, and I don't want anybody to put another building there in front of it there either, because that was the whole idea, that the big trucks, when they come round the corner, that they can have a good clear view of it. So that's what I wanted to know, with what they are planning on that area, what to do, and the building, what they put up there, it's not very, it just says, what do they call it, proposed detached dwelling unit with accessory apartment. Well, where's it going to be? Further west, just a second, that is east, further east, or right at the corner, or where the big hole is now, so it doesn't say it on that plan what I have here, what's a shot from the air there, it's not a really complete area there, I mean, you're giving, it's a little bit deceiving there to me, and, and I had a meeting once before with Brent and Stephen. There are capable people there, so a couple of times I met with Brent, and Stephen, he's very, he's in charge of the project there as well, and Ivan, I spoke to him too, and to who's the contractor there, and So I don't know. Like, I mean, now all of a sudden there is the other company there now, Candu Homes. Yes, Candu Homes. You know, like how do they fit in with the whole thing?
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your comments today, sir. The recommendation back from the planner was that it sounds like the Director of Infrastructure is the member of staff that you should direct some further conversation with. As far as any discussions with the new property owner, that's something that would logistically have to be worked out amongst yourselves. But if you have no other comments, I am going to go to Mr. Trumbull's next in line so that we can move on. All your comments and questions have been documented by staff, and I just want to ensure that if you reach out to our Director of Infrastructure, I believe is what the planner is recommending, to get some of your answers that this committee may not have in front of us at this time. Thank you very much.
So whom do I have? I have my pen. I have my pen. Yeah, but who do I meet? I need names.
You're going to be contacting the office right in outside of Durham there. Do you have the number? I've got it here if you'd like that. And you're going to ask to speak to Director Glazier, which you're referring to as Brent. So it's Mr. Brent Glazier is our interim Director of Infrastructure, is where you need to direct some further comments on some of the particular items that you've asked today that the committee doesn't have answers to. Would you like the phone number of the office, sir?
I think I have the office phone number.
Yeah.
The office phone number is 549-369-2200.
That's right. And then just there is.
And then I asked for Director Fraser.
No, it's Brent Glazier. You've already had contact with Brent. So it's Director Brent Glazier. He's our interim Director of Infrastructure. So if you call the office, sir, and they will put you in touch with his office, and then you can coordinate with him on some of these questions. Again, excuse me, sir?
And it will be Brent Glazier then.
That's who Planner Spencer has recommended that you would start there.
I will start with him. Okay, I was still waiting for a phone call from 2 weeks ago. I was up there, but I know they're busy with all the nice projects, what they are doing there. You know, I just want to make sure we maintain it. And I like the town of Durham, and I mean, I invested that stuff there, and, you know, so I will, okay, if he's the person to get in contact with him, and you have my address there, you know, I just was up there on Friday.
We've got everything we need now, sir. I do need to move on to the next member of the community that is waiting. We do have a rather large agenda. Unless you have anything new that you would like to add, we have documented all your comments and questions. Planner Spencer has acknowledged what you're looking for. Your recommendation was to reach out to Director Brent Glazier for some of the questions you may have. And I am going to go on to, unless you have a new comment or question, but we've well documented your statements and your comments and your questions. And I am going to go on to the next member of the public that has to speak, because I got to keep the agenda going. Are you good? Are you satisfied with the answer that you have now?
Whom I'm speaking now to?
I am chair of the Committee of Adjustments. My name is Tom Hutchinson.
Oh, Tom Hutchinson.
Yes, I am also the deputy mayor, but here I sit as the chair of the Committee of Adjustments.
Yeah, I know he has been in council for a while there, you know.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, and it's a rainy day here, there, and my telephone line is still the old-fashioned, and I have no fiber optic for the computer, and every time it rains, everything goes down. Even the phone is not very clear. Okay, Tom, but nice talk.
Yes, thank you for your time this afternoon, and you did well on the cell phone there. So thank you. I am going to go on to the next member of the public, and that would be Mr. Trumbull.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I think his concerns are nothing to do with mine. His property is across the road. So the survey and stuff has not, and they put a new water line into his property. So, and the original building was 3 feet off the road. We're going to be 25 feet off the road off Highway 6 now. And we were 5 feet from the property. Now we're going to be 15. So it's definitely not going to be any view at all affecting Highway 6. Plus, it's going to be a brand new building to look at. So it should increase his property value. But if he's still on the line, he can give me a call at 519-369-4561. But I don't think the concern is my property as much as they took his parking place across the road. So, but I'd be glad to meet him out there and show him what I'm going to do. I'm doing a 1-story. I'm going to try to replicate the building that was there. I'm doing a 1-story with 2 units, and that's what I'm doing. And now the hole's still there because Ivan asked me if I just wait till he got cleaned up there a little better so we could get in. So once Ivan gives me the okay that I can go back in, the hole will be filled immediately. And I'm going to check with him today to see he had big piles of dirt piled there.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Trumbull, and appreciate the clarity on the parking spots, and thank you for offering your phone number. Is there any other comments or questions from members of the public at this time? Unless you have anything further to add, Mr. Trumbull.
No, I'm good. Like I say, I think I improved the corner. Could have left that building there.
Okay, thank you, sir. And thank you for your investment in West Gray. Okay, I'm gonna go, is there any other members of public that are on standby, or do we have any chats or anything that have been? I see none at all from this side here. Ms. Ferguson?
Just reviewing the dashboard now, and I'm not seeing any additional members of the public wishing to speak at this point.
Okay, thank you.
What's
All right.
happening, please?
Oh, okay. Did you have a comment, Mr. Trumbull? You're still, you're not muted.
Sorry. No.
Okay, thank you. All right, we will move on to 7.5, and that's decision by the committee. So what direction would the committee like to take with this application? I do see Member Robinson's hand up, and then I did see member followed by Member Hergert. Member Robinson, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is the following motion that I'm putting forward, that the Committee of Adjustment receives the report from Planner Spencer A12.2022, 579-575 Ontario Limited in brackets, can do, end of bracket. And that the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves minor variance application A12.2022 for the reasons as set out in the planner's report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Member Hergert, are you seconding that motion? Thank you. Does anybody need that read again? It is exactly as what's on the agenda. We're all good with it. Comments or questions from the committee members on this motion? So just raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll call the vote. All those in favor, if you could just raise your hand, please. I see 5 in favor. Thank you very much. None opposed. That motion is carried. Thank you. And I will go to Planner Spencer for next steps under 7.6.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. The applicant will be notified of the decision of the Committee of Adjustment. Notification will be provided to the landowner and all property owners within 120 meters of the subject lands. 20 days from the date of decision is the appeal period. Provided no appeals are received, the applicant will be advised they can proceed with their building permit. Thank you.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. Okay, we're going to move right along to item number 8 on today's agenda. It's minor variance application number A13. 2022, and that would be 271041 Gray Road 6, Township of Normanby. 8.1, application number A13 2022, Nikolai Jacob and Nikolai Margaret. 8.2, and I hope I have announced that properly pronounced. And 8.2 is Planner Spencer's report. If you please read your report, minor variance application A13 2022. And any written comments that we may not have on the agenda that we have received up to today under 8.3. Planner Spencer, please.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. The subject lands are municipally identified as 271041 Grave Road 6 in the geographic township of Normanby. Property is legally identified as Part Lot 74, Concession A, our Plan 17R 3009, Parts 5 through 7. The purpose of this application is to vary the provisions of Section 6.1.42 to permit a total floor area of 186 square meters, whereas 92.9 square meters is permitted, the effect of which will permit the construction of an accessory structure. A single detached dwelling unit currently exists on the subject lands. Comments were provided from the County of Grey Planning and Development Department, in addition to the Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority, both of which are in support of the application and have no further concerns. No comments from the public were received at this time. I'm happy to clarify further as required. Thank you.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. Okay, 8.4 is verbal comments. 8.4.1 is committee members, and this is your opportunity to ask any questions or make any comments you may have on this application before us. So, members of the committee, anything to ask or state? Looking for a hand raise. Okay, seeing none, I am going to move on to 8.4.2. And this is members of the public. Again, I'm going to have Ms. Ferguson explain to the public how they can participate in this part of the meeting. And again, this is to speak in favor or opposed to the application. Ms. Ferguson, please.
Through you, Chair Hutchinson. For members of the public waiting to participate in this portion of the meeting, you may do so in one of two ways. The first being, if you have joined us via phone line, you can press *9 to raise your hand, and that will let us know that you would like to speak. After speaking, or if you raised your hand in error, you can press *9 again to lower your hand. If you have joined us using the Zoom meeting software, you can either send a chat to me, Sheila Ferguson, Communications Coordinator, either stating that you would like to speak or that you would like your message read on your behalf for the record. Or you can raise your hand, usually located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen with a blue or yellow hand icon. And at this time, Chair Hutchinson, I am not seeing any members of the public wishing to speak.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ferguson. I'm going to just take a quick browse through too. I see nothing. I see nothing in the chat, so I am going to move on to 8.5, and that's the decision by the committee. What direction would the committee like to take with this application? And I do see Member Hergert's hand up, and I will acknowledge Member Townsend to follow that. Go ahead, Member Hergert.
The Committee of Adjustments hereby receives the report from Planner Spencer, A13-2022, and that the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves the minor variance.
Member Hergert, we're going to have to start over. I apologize for interrupting. I couldn't hear you, so you have to start over and adjust, please.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, maybe stay that close to the mic. That may help. Thank you.
Okay, so I move that the Committee of Adjustment hereby receives the report from Planner Spencer, A13-2022, and that the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves the minor variance application, A13-2022, for the reasons set out in the planner's report.
Thank you, and I could hear you that second time around. Member Townsend, will you be seconding that motion on the floor? Thank you. Comments or questions from the committee members? Does anybody need it read, or are we good? I believe it's pretty much what's on the agenda here is what I was following. Okay, call the question then. All those in favor, if you could raise your hand, please. I see all 5 members are in favor. There is none opposed. This motion is carried. Thank you. 8.6 would be Planner Spencer's. What are the next steps, please?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. Based on the decision made by Committee of Adjustment, notice will be provided in accordance with the Planning Act to all property owners and the registered property owner of the subject lands within 120 meters. Provided no appeals are received, the applicant will be notified that they can proceed with their building permit.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. Okay, we're on to item number 9, and on the agenda, this is the consent to sever number B11-2022, 174393 Mulock Road, Township of Bentinck. 9.1, application number B11-2022-1000-131-831 Ontario, Inc. 9.2 is Planner Spencer's report. If I could get you to please read your report on minor variance number B11-2022. And if you can include in that 9.3 under written comments, which would include 9.3.1 Grey County, 9.3.2 Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority, 9.3.3 Enbridge Gas, 9.3.4 Hydro One, 9.3.5 Woolton Grant and Woolton Patricia, and any other documentation or correspondence you may have received. Planner Spencer, please.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. The property is municipally identified as 174393 Mulock Road and legally identified as the west part of Lot 26, Concession 10, NDR, in the geographic township of Bentic. The purpose of the application is to sever one 0.29 hectare parcel and retain one 15.48 hectare parcel, the effect of which will sever the existing single detached dwelling unit from the balance of the property. Comments were provided from the County of Grey, who are in support of the application on the basis that this is a defined secondary settlement area in Crawford. No further concerns were provided by the county. The Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority has no objection to the application, but does note that as a requirement as a condition of consent, a holding provision should be placed on the property until such time as future development and an appropriate environmental impact study or other studies is completed for the property to their satisfaction. In addition, comments were received from Enbridge and Hydro One, none of which expressed concern with the application at hand. Comments have been provided by the public, various concerns related to the loss of agricultural land and the development of the property in future. Just as of note to committee, the holding provision will be placed on the property, so any future development and all appropriate studies will be provided at that time. No further comments were provided that have been provided by the public at this point in time. Happy to clarify further as required. Thank you.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. So that will take us to 9.4, verbal comments. Again, there's two portions to this part of the meeting. One is for the committee members to speak, and then we will follow that up with any member of the public that would like to have a comment. And I will go to Ms. Ferguson, I'm sorry, committee members. And I do see Member Townsend followed by Member Hutchison. So Member Townsend, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. I only have one question for the planner. The public has raised the issue of the concern about the subdivision, and I wonder if you could comment on the applicability of that activity to this particular application, please. Thank you.
Planner Spencer.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. Just to be clear, there's some very high-level preliminary discussions that have occurred with the county and the municipality related to future development of the subject lands. There is no application at hand at this point in time, and there are studies and items that they will need to complete to see what the subdivision is capable of being able to have on the basis of private services, etc. There is no application at hand at this point in time, two separate matters. This is simply severing the house from the balance of the property. And again, when the application comes forward for a plan of subdivision in future, if it does, that holding provision will not be removed from the property until such time as those acceptable reports are provided. But in terms of an application at hand at this moment in time, there isn't one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything, any follow-up there, Member Townsend?
No.
Okay, thank you. Just so you know, your mic is still on, and I will acknowledge Member Hutchison now. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I guess my question is sort of on the same lines of with the subdivision. I know that's not what this is really about, but it's an underlying issue that we will be dealing with. My question is, I thought the ministry came out with a regulation saying that you couldn't do a subdivision in the country because they're not on separate sewers and water. But I'm not sure if that's the case. Why are we looking at this, and what is the stipulation in order to complete that? Can you comment on that, Planner?
Planner Spencer.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. So you are correct that under the provincial policy statement, rural plans of subdivision are no longer permitted. However, this particular circumstance, this is within the defined settlement area boundary of Crawford. So obviously it's going to be on private services because they're not available, but it is within what's considered to be a secondary settlement area within the County of Grey official plan.
Okay, thank you. I'm just curious how that was to come about. So thank you.
Anything further, Member Hutchison? Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions from the other committee members before I turn it to the public? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to move on to 9.4.2. And this is the, excuse me one second. Okay, this is the opportunity for the members of the public to speak to the application, whether it be in favor or opposed. And I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Ferguson to explain how the members of the public can participate. Ms. Ferguson, please.
Through you, Chair Hutchinson. For members of the public waiting to participate in this portion of the meeting, you may do so in one of two ways. The first being if you have joined us via phone line, you can press *9 to raise your hand, and that will let us know that you would like to speak. After speaking, or if you raised your hand in error, you can press *9 again to lower your hand. If you have joined us using the Zoom meeting software, you can either send a chat to me, Sheila Ferguson, Communications Coordinator, either stating that you would like to speak or that you would like your message read on your behalf for the record. Or you can raise your hand, usually located in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen with a blue or yellow hand icon. And at this time, Chair Hutchinson, I'm not seeing any member of the public wishing to speak.
Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. And I see no members on chat, and I see no hands on the dash, so I will move on now to 9.5. That's the decision by the committee. What direction would the committee like to take with this application? I do see Member Hutchinson's hand up, followed by Member Townsend. Member Hutchinson, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so as the committee adjustment, I move that we receive Planner Spencer's report, and the committee adjustment does hereby approve consent to sever application B11 2022, and I'll leave the Ms. Ferguson to read all the conditions associated with that. You like?
Thank you. Member Townsend, are you going to second that, and I'll have the staff read out the balance of it? Okay, thank you. So, Ms. Mulligan, if you could read the recommendation, the entire one. We have a move by Member Hutchinson, seconded by Member Townsend.
Thank you. Through you, Chair Tom Hutchinson. The Committee of Adjustment receives, the recommendation that Committee of Adjustment receives Planner Spencer's report, and that Committee of Adjustment does hereby approve consent to sever application number B11 2022 1000131831 Ontario Inc. for the reasons and with the following conditions as set out in the planner's reports: payment of money outstanding municipal taxes, payment of an entrance permit application, receipt of an entrance permit for the newly created parcel, payment of the zoning bylaw amendment application fee, and approval of a zoning bylaw amendment to recognize the deficient lot area of the newly created parcel.
Mulligan. Thank you, Ms. Mulligan. Any comments or questions on the recommendation before us before we call the vote? Oh, seeing none. We'll call the vote. All members in favor, if you could raise your hand, please. And I see 5 members of the committee are in favor. There's none opposed. This motion is carried. And we'll go to Planner Spencer for item 9.6. Next steps, please.
Through you, Mr. Chair. The next steps will be the applicant will be notified of the decision of the Committee of Adjustment. From the date of the decision, notice will be provided to enact the 20-day appeal period. Provided no appeals are received, the applicant will have 12 months from the date of decision to fulfill the conditions, 2 years from the date of decision to register the deeds for the property to complete the severance. Thank you.
Thank you, Planner Spencer. Item number 10 is the announcement of the next meeting. And I'm going to ask Ms. Mulligan to please confirm. I have it scheduled for September the 19th. That's a Monday, 2022 at 1 o'clock. Can you confirm that, please?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. And that takes us to item number 11. That's adjournment. And before we go there, well done. It was a big agenda we had, and we got through it. We didn't plow through it, but a lot of good conversation today. So well done there, committee. So item number 11 is adjournment. I'll be looking for a motion to adjourn, please. And I do see Member Robinson as moving that, and I see Member Hergert as the seconder. Ms. Mulligan, could you please read the recommendation?
Thank you through you, Chair Hutchinson. The recommendation is that the Committee of Adjustments hereby adjourns at 2:05 p.m.
Thank you. Call the vote. All those in favor, you can raise your hand, please. I see 5 in favor, none opposed. This motion is carried. Thank you very much, and I want everyone to have a wonderful afternoon.